Imagine this. You're in a room with 10 of your colleagues and you're the one presenting. It's a meeting. And about halfway into your meeting you realize you lost them. This one on the left is checking their laptop. These two are talking, this one is yawning. Basically, it's not going very well. You're not having the impact that you want. What can you do? My friends, this is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you're coming for the first time, welcome! My name is Alena Huberová, and in this channel I share with you tips and techniques to help you develop a powerful personal presence and to deliver presentations that have impact. Alright, so let's go back into that room with 10 of your colleagues. You want to change the dynamics. You want to make sure that they start again paying attention. The first thing that you can do is surprise them. Surprise them somehow. Because if they lost interest in what you have to say, it probably means that you became a little bit too predictable. Too predictable with your message. Because if your audience anticipates what you're going to say next, they will tune out. Why should they listen to you? Or maybe you became a little bit too predictable with your voice or with your body. So surprise them. Change them. Change your voice. Change your body gestures. Change your movement. Before I tell you how, I also want to tell you that in this situation when you lose an audience, check in with yourself. How do you feel? It could be that you bored yourself with your content. And if that's the case, you're in trouble. Because how can you expect your audience to be engaged if you're not engaged, if you're bored? So you always need to make sure that you're in the right energy. Because your energy radiates through your voice and through your body. Alright, let's talk about the voice. How can you change your voice to surprise them? Maybe your voice is a little bit flat and you haven't discovered yet that there is more than one tone that you can use. Yes, my friends, sometimes it happens to us that our voice is just too monotonous. So we always sound the same and our audience loses interest. So let's just change. Let's just play with the voice. Look, your voice has got a melody. So look for that melody in your voice. Change that pitch. If you're monotonous, try to use more than just one tone. Jump from one tone to another, like playing on a keyboard of a piano, right? Also, it could be that maybe your volume is a little bit too low. Change it. Emphasize some words. Change the volume. Dial it up. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe your volume is too high and it's constantly too high and we think that we're such powerful speakers, but no. If it's consistently too low or too high, it can also bore after a while and people will tune out. So just change the intensity of your voice. Change the rhythm. Sometimes you can slow down a little bit to emphasize a message. Other times you can gain speed and you can talk faster, especially when you tell stories, to make it a bit more dramatic. So surprise your listeners by changing the way your voice sounds. Your body. Maybe they tuned out because you always look the same. You know, your body is a little bit too static. Or maybe you've got hands in the pocket. Or maybe you just watch the slides and you're reading text from the slides. That's very boring. So change the way you move your body. And they will be surprised and they will start paying attention about you. If you stand in a place, change it. Start walking, change your location, and they'll immediately wake up. Start gesturing a little bit more. Move. The movement also changes your own energy. Remember, whatever energy you feel inside, that radiates through your voice and through the body. So pay attention about your energy. So voice, your body, the content. If they're not paying attention, maybe there is something that you can say to surprise them. Maybe there is a surprising statement that you can make about your topic. Maybe there is a surprising data, a surprising fact, something surprising that you can say that they will, that is strange. I wonder what he means by that, and they'll start paying attention. You could also just not say anything, because my friends, there is a tremendous power in silence. So imagine that they're talking amongst themselves, you're trying to grab their attention. Just pause, shut up, stay quiet. Stay quiet and look at them, one by one. I guarantee you that after a moment, they'll start looking around like, what's going on? Why is he not talking? Why is she not talking? And they'll start paying attention. And after that powerful silence, you can start by saying, well, welcome back. I'm glad I got your attention now because I have something important to tell you. Or maybe after that silence, you want to tell them something humorous about the content, something humorous about the context, about them, about yourself, whatever. Or maybe you can show them something to grab their attention. It's a good idea to have some picture slides or maybe some funny photos, and in those moments to take them, show them and tell them, do you know what happened in here? Or do you know what this means? Yeah, and that will immediately capture their attention and they'll start listening to you again. So the first tip is surprise them. Change the way you speak, change the way you move your body, and change your content. Give them something surprising or show them something surprising. So that's my tip number 1. Tip number 2, very easy, very powerful. Involve your listeners somehow. Listen, none of your presentations, none of your meetings should be a monologue. You always want to have a dialogue. You want to have a conversation with your listeners, right? So in this situation that it's quiet or they're talking, they're not paying attention about you, you want to involve them. What can you do? You can start throwing some questions at them, yeah? Either someone decides to answer, or maybe not, and they're still quiet. So, throw a specific question at a specific person. Jane, I remember we talked about this 2 weeks ago. What do you think? What do you think about this that we designed? Do you think that it could work? What's your experience? Have you already tried it? You're putting Jane on the spot. She needs to say something. She cannot keep quiet, right? And at the same time, you're changing dynamics in the whole room because everyone around will start paying attention because they could be the next person to be called out by you. So involve them by asking them questions, by asking them for their opinions, for their experiences. It's a nice way to bring their attention back. And finally, the third tip, and I talked about this in many of my videos, is tell them a story. Oh my God, stories have got so much power. Everyone loves hearing stories. You should always have several stories ready to use at a moment's notice. They can be stories about your own experience with the topic, your colleague's experience. It can be a story about your customer or about something that happened at a customer meeting, whatever. It needs to be a story relevant to the topic, obviously, because otherwise you're going to lose them again. They will start wondering, like, what are they talking about? How is this relevant in this meeting? Yeah. So have a story ready. Important. Before you tell a story, you want to maybe pause a little and you want to start the story in an engaging manner, right? So you can say something like, Well, let me tell you about that time that we went to Kazakhstan for a meeting. Yeah? So let me tell you. Or I still remember when we were at. I still remember. It's another powerful way to start. Or it happened on the 16th of June. Yeah, it happened. It also is something that people hear and they immediately start getting curious about what's coming next. It's like when we were little and we were reading fairy tales. Do you remember the typical sentence that the fairy tale started? Once upon a time. And there is something powerful about this sentence. It immediately makes us wonder. It triggers the desire to know more. Yeah? So tell a story, but make sure that you start telling that story in an engaging manner. Here you have it, my 3 very simple tips that you can start applying immediately. The first one, surprise them. Surprise them with something that you say. Surprise them by changing your voice. Surprise them by changing the way you move. The second one, get them involved. Your presentation is not a monologue, it's a conversation. And the third one is tell them a story. There you have it. I hope these tips help you and I hope that you are encouraged to try them out in your next presentation. And if you like them, please, I ask you, share them with your colleagues. Because none of us want to sit through extremely boring meetings. Let's spread the word and help our colleagues to make sure that their next presentation is a little bit more engaging than the last. So thank you for watching and I will see you next week.